Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please kindly take your seats as we are about to begin. I'm Anna Butrym and I'm so happy to be your host for the EU Industry Days. Warm welcome to everyone who is gathered here in person in Rzeszów and to all of those who are watching us online. This edition is special for us, but as always, it is brought to you by European Commission in strong partnership with the Polish Ministry of Economic Development and Technology as part of the Polish presidency of the Council of the European Union. And this edition was made possible by the precious support by the Podkarpackie region and the city of Rzeszów. This is the 7th edition of the EU Industry Days, the flagship event for the industry. Each year, each edition gathers thousands of the participants that are representing business, the research community, policymakers, and the civil society to discuss the future of EU industry. During this year's edition, we'll be focusing on three key priorities: competitiveness driven by decarbonization, an innovative industry spurred by investment, R&I, and skills, and EU security built on strong defense industry and resilient supply chains, and Ukraine integration into the single market. So over the course of the next 2 days, you will have a chance to dive into many insightful presentations, speeches, and discussions on the above-mentioned topics that will be brought to you by our excellent speakers. Today, in the morning, we will listen to the insights on the competitiveness and prosperity of the EU single market, on the future of the EU as investment destination. In the afternoon, you'll have a chance to engage in meaningful discussions on specific drivers of competitiveness and specific industrial ecosystems during 4 rounds of oral sessions. If you are watching us online, please kindly go to the agenda on the EU Industry Days website and take a look which room we are streaming the given part of the day. This will also indicate the respective link to the streaming. Please note that we provide interpretation into Polish, English, and French from the plenary room throughout the day, and the interpretation into international sign language is available throughout the day. We can all engage into discussions. For that, we will go to the Slido that is just displayed with the number by which you can access the respective applications part for today, and there you'll find the rooms for each and every session. The code displayed will take you there, or you can simply scan the QR code visible on the screen. So those are the options for us all to engage, discuss, comment, and we will be thankful for your engagement in that part. For those of you who are with us within the venue, please make the best use of all the coffee breaks and the lunch break, not only taking a moment to yourself or networking, but also by dropping by our exhibition area where we have 27 stands prepared with the new products and solutions for a wide range of application areas, including aerospace, mobility, renewable energy, manufacturing, and more. And while you're at it, you can also take a look at our red carpeted area, which is the Meet the Experts corner, featuring 12 stands where you can get tailored advice from our experts on funding opportunities and support tools to take your business to the next level. Please also note that the matchmaking area is available throughout the day. And now, without the further ado, I would like to invite to the stage the first speaker of the day, Ms. Kerstin Jorna, Director General for the Internal Market, Industry, Entrepreneurship and SMEs. Please kindly join me on the stage.
Dzień dobry. Dear Minister, dear Commissioner, dear representatives of the Polish government, members of parliament, representatives of Podkarpackie region, city of Rzeszów, Konrad, our host in this wonderful city. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome you for the Industry Days, the EU Industry Days in Rzeszów. It's a key moment for Europe's industrial community. With almost 1,000 participants, we will explore how we can build a strong, sustainably and globally competitive industry. For getting us started and for having a real business case in Europe. For getting us started, this morning we will hear the industrial visions of Minister Paszyk and our Commissioner, Executive Vice President Jorna. And then we will hear you, because we need to hear from you. We want to focus on 3 dimensions, as was already mentioned: competitiveness and decarbonization, single market and industry, and economic security. Let me say a word on all 3. Competitiveness and decarbonization. We will hear from the industry about challenges and opportunities, how to make it happen. How will Europe's Clean Industrial Deal give you the steam to go ahead in your transformation projects? We will have the opportunity to discuss this during the plenary session of this morning, and there are also parallel sessions this afternoon. Single market and innovation. Still today, the single market does not always rhyme with scale, the scale of 450 million consumers, the scale of 18 trillion GDP. Rather, it still rhymes with a lot of barriers. How can we together change that? And then on economic security and resilience, Ukraine, the events of the past have reminded us how quickly global disruptions can affect our economy. The answer is obvious. Europe. The way ahead, novel. How can Europe increase our safety and security, including learning lessons from our partners in Ukraine? This is not about retreating from global markets. It's about equipping ourselves to compete and thrive in them. Distinguished participants, the EU Industry Days presents a major opportunity for our business community and policymakers to listen to each other and together, Mr. Mayor, I still think of your motto for Rzeszów, to listen to each other and shape our destiny. Let's seize this moment and let's make Europe the place of choice, choose Europe, for business. Zaczynamy 7. Europejskie Przemysł. Dziękujemy. Mysa Kosinej, Rzeszów. Let's have amazing Industry Days. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those words, excellent Polish language skills. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Władysław Ortyl, Marshal of the Podkarpackie region.
Szanowni Państwo, Panie Komisarzu, Państwo Ministrowie, Szanowni Przedstawiciele unijnych instytucji rządowych, regionalnych, nasi partnerzy z przemysłu, z nauki i biznesu. To wielka przyjemność i wyróżnienie dla Podkarpacia móc Państwa powitać tutaj w Jasiące, w Rzeszowie, w Podkarpaciu, w czasie, kiedy cała Europa debatuje o przyszłości przemysłu. Jest centrum uwagi naszych rozmów, staje się oczywiście Podkarpacie. Region o silnych tradycjach przemysłowych, o silnych tradycjach innowacyjnych i o takim strategicznym podejściu do bezpieczeństwa, do rozwoju naszego województwa i też naszego oczywiście kraju. Chcę przytoczyć pewną historyczną rzecz i sprawę, bo to właśnie tutaj na tej ziemi Ignacy Łukasiewicz, wynalazca lampy naftowej, pierwszy budowniczy kopalni ropy naftowej położył fundamenty pod nowoczesny przemysł energetyczny. Jego dziedzictwo oparte właśnie na odwadze, na wizji, na patrzeniu w przyszłość, też związane z przedsiębiorczością, inspiruje wiele pokoleń naszych inżynierów i liderów zmian. Często powołując się na właśnie Ignacego Łukasiewicza, mówimy, że to nasze podkarpackie innowacyjne DNA trwa właśnie od tego momentu, kiedy on jako wynalazca, jako ważny przedsiębiorca uruchomił te wszystkie zmiany, które trwają do dziś i są ważnym impulsem rozwojowym dla Podkarpacia i naszego kraju. Mam nadzieję, że EU Industry Day 2025 będzie impulsem dla budowania ściślejszej synergii pomiędzy światem nauki, przemysłu, administracji, w tym administracji samorządowej, a wszystkie dyskusje, panele przybliżą nas do odpowiedzi i wyznaczenia kierunku, jak budować jeszcze silniejszy, nowocześniejszy przemysł europejski w czasach tych globalnych turbulencji i globalnych zmian, które dzisiaj szybko zachodzą. Jesteśmy regionem przygranicznym i jesteśmy świadomi skali wyzwań, przed którymi stoimy. Od lat budujemy naszą pozycję w oparciu o przemysł lotniczy, przemysł motoryzacyjny, informatykę, a w ostatnich latach wobec wyzwań
IT and also in the last year, looking at the security changes, this region has gained strategic importance as a global center of support for the aid. Our airport that is close by to this event is a diplomatic hub, where we provide humanitarian and medical support to Ukrainians. I think that during your stay, you'll be able to ascertain that this is actually a good place for this type of discussions, for this type of debates, because we are surrounded by the industry innovations in here. We are a neighbor to aviations. We have the Congress Center. This Congress Center is the adjacent to the Podkarpackie Science Center, which is the special center where innovations are fostered when the children and teenagers can see the scientific way of this world. Also, looking at the funds invested for the square meter investment were from European Union. We say that these funds are really significant. The center has been funded by European Union, the science center, the airport, the infrastructure. We are very grateful to European Union for this investment, so that the infrastructure is now thriving, that these buildings were also supported by the funds, and the system of the entrepreneurship has also been supported by European Union. We have the incubator system in here. We have the startups in the regional startups thriving here. In the digitalization period, industry needs new mechanisms that supported in a synergy between resources, effectiveness, and international cooperation. Europe, as we know, cannot only catch up with the changes. We need to be leaders in the changes. We need to go ahead of the trends. That's why the technologies, the double-use technologies, are very important. The double-use technologies in the economy, and they get a totally new meaning. Also, the infrastructure of the double-use infrastructure has a significantly new meaning. Defense industry has been marginal until recently, but today has gone into full and is the driving force behind industry. Our region, Podkarpackie region, is an active partner in these changes, and we support development, science, we support startups, and we support economic zones for investments, which allows us to be competitive, and competitiveness basis on the relations and on the science. And I am glad to say that working with the European Committee of Regions, we were able to expose it in the panel where we will talk about the role of the local governments in this development. Thank you so much. Great thanks to the European Commission and the Committee of Regions for the possibility to make this event happen. Thank you so much for your presence and for your passion to build a better future, industry future. Thank you so much for your stay. I hope you have a pleasurable stay, and I hope you will come back here to Podkarpackie. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much for those words and for having us here in the Podkarpackie region. Now, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Konrad Fijołek, Mayor of Rzeszów.
Szanowny Panie Komisarzu, drodzy członkowie Europejskiego i Polskiego Parlamentu, Państwo Ministrowie, droga Pani Dyrektor Kerstin wraz z zespołem, wszyscy wspaniali goście z całej Unii Europejskiej. Bardzo się cieszę, że w imieniu mieszkańców Rzeszowa i swoim własnym możemy powitać Państwa w Rzeszowie na tym wspaniałym europejskim wydarzeniu. Podczas wczorajszej kolacji powitalnej wspominałem Państwu o strategicznym znaczeniu Rzeszowa, zwłaszcza w ostatnich latach, głównie ze względu na geopolityczną zmianę, jaka zaszła na naszym kontynencie za sprawą, co prawda, tragicznej wojny, ale jednak wierzymy, że skończy się to poszerzeniem europejskiej rodziny o Ukrainę. Ta strategiczna rola Rzeszowa wiąże się także z ogromnym procesem pomocy, jaka przepływa przez
very
nasze
much
miasto.
related to its role in humanitarian aid to Ukrainian, and this is only it only underlines European solidarity, and we can witness it every day. I would like to also tell you about the Rzeszów role
of the European Union. The city in which we are
Europe.
now
Rzeszów
is
the symbol of the dynamic development during the past 30-35 years after we gained democracy. This city is developing very fast in terms of economy and industry. We are surrounded by numerous investments that were possible from European Union funds, and this city over the past 35 years has one of the highest dynamic when it comes to the GDP increase compared to the other major Polish city. This border cities is one of the most dynamic when it comes to development, and it only shows how important are the investment in industry and how the industry can be a drive for the social and economic development in the region. And this city has also its own industry DNA. It is very much related to innovations, which is very much summarized in our slogan, which we say that Rzeszów is the capital of innovation. This city until recently was added one of the 100 avant-garde city, net zero smart city
prywatnymi przedsiębiorcami.
And this is very interesting because we are cooperating with the local businessmen, with the local people and the business and industry. Only common cooperation can make these goals possible. And we want to extend our thanks to the Polish Ministry of Development and Technology and European Union representatives that you chose in our city to be the venue for today's event. I would like you to come to Rzeszów after our event, where we have a number of the different today we'll have the number of different events, cultural events. Will you come today to the city of Rzeszów? You will have an opportunity to see what we prepared. There is a Lubomirski Palace in the park, very close to the city, which is next to the Jewish heritage site. So you can enjoy this palace as well and the park. And thank you so much for your numerous attendance.
Here in Rzeszów. And now I would like to invite to the stage Magdalena Sobkowiak-Czarnecka, Undersecretary of State at the Chancellery of the Prime Minister of Poland.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's working? Yes, it's now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you that my heart is twice happy today. Firstly, because it's an event of Polish presidency, which I'm happy to be a part of and have the steering wheel of the Polish presidency, one of the main events of the Polish presidency. But secondly, since I spent a few years in DG Grow, and so this is also the place where I was working, so I meet here many of my colleagues. So, dear Minister, dear Commissioner, all the guests, when we were choosing the place where this conference should take place, it was quite obvious for us that Rzeszów is the best place. Since if you want to see how Poland has changed through the years, Rzeszów is the best city to show you how it has changed through many, many years. Nowadays, Rzeszów really plays an amazing role in the special mission to help Ukraine. All the operation, they start here, the hub is here in Rzeszów. Polish presidency is under the motto Security Europe. But I strongly believe that there is no security without competitiveness. This is why we put on our agenda also deregulation and cooperation between member states. I'm pretty sure that nowadays, in these crucial times, no single member state can be competitive alone comparing to the big global players. We need to play as a team and together think how EU, how our industry can be even more innovative and competitive. But Polish presidency, it's not only about talking. Polish presidency is about concrete acts, concrete decisions. And we started with the Commission, the process of deregulation, you know, the initiative Stop the Clock. We changed the way of thinking in the European institutions about deregulation. It's no longer only the issue of the Commission, but there's a special working group in the Council which is taking care of the deregulation process. Also during Polish presidency in Warsaw, we signed Warsaw Declaration. It is about funds for innovation. We believe that the industry can be competitive if we invest enough money in innovations. I know that it's not an easy task now to create a new MFF, but we sent from Poland the best people to do that. I mean Commissioner Piotr Serafin. So I really wish you very nice days. I believe that cooperation gives the best results. So please exchange your views, discuss as much as possible, but I hope this conference won't end only on discussions, but we will get some recommendations from you after this conference that we can put into the power as the presidency. And I believe that the future of European industry begins here, in the heart of Europe, and a getaway to fighting free Ukraine. Thank you very much.